Hey guys, we're doing a little behind the scene here with Rajee, a good friend of mine. We've known each other for quite a while now.
We go back a long way.
We were even in a film together back in the day.
Yes.
What's it called?
Bellamano.
Yes,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was really groundbreaking. All trans actors playing non-trans roles. I thought it was really great. We were a little ahead of the whole trans train, but it was a great experience. Yeah.
A little while ago, we were having a little conversation regarding genitals, and you said someone had passed away.
Right.
And they had the surgery not long, and
exactly, yeah. They had the surgery a few months ago, and then now they passed away. They passed away about a week ago. And I was thinking to myself, I said, wow, that surgery is really major. And I don't think I would have it. I guess at this point I consider myself a non-op trans girl because I don't think I would. I know everyone's journey is different, and some people really feel they need to do that. For this particular person, she's a wonderful friend and activist, fellow activist, and she was determined to, I'm just going to be blunt, get her pussy before she died, okay? Like, she said she didn't want to die without a pussy. Okay, so for her, I guess it was divine order. But it really is something I think a lot of girls need to think long and hard about. Because there's so... You hear, like, the girls that go through the surgeries, oftentimes they have a lot of complications that they're dealing with. And, I say to myself, heck, it's my extra long clitty.
That's right. I mean, back in the day when I was doing research and I wanted to find out about getting fellas, and I saw, oh my God, I got to take a piece of my arm, they make this thing that looks like a burrito, and then I'm going to get fistulas and all sorts of different complications. I knew a guy had 14 surgeries and still wasn't done. I'm like, hell no.
Ooh.
I'll learn to love my small penis, and so what if I have to sit to pee, and it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm no less of a man because I don't walk around with a 12-incher, and you're no less of a woman because you don't have
vagina. Exactly. And I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is in the head. It's in our, it's in our brains. It's how we feel.
Right.
And thank goodness technology has progressed enough for us to, like, pretty much live the lives that we want, the identity that we want. But, hey, to me, and I was having a discussion with a few other trans girls, friends of mine, we were like, this makes us special. There's plenty of regular women in the world, so having this makes us special. And the majority of guys, they almost expect it. It's like, if it's not there, they're going to be disappointed.
Exactly. And what's the difference between a clit and a penis? Androgen. Excess androgen. That's all about it, because the clitoris grows into the penis, and then the ovaries drop and become testicles.
Exactly.
So we're made out of the same thing, just a little different.
Just a little extra skin here and there.
And like you said, it's all up here. It's all up here.
It's
when you're going to bed with somebody that makes you feel as special as you are, they don't make you feel that you're a man, because you're not. You're a woman.
Yeah, exactly. And all the men that I've had relationships with, they all really do see me as a woman, like, and when I might be a special woman to them in their mind because I am trans, but they treat me and see me as a woman. Yeah.
And that's all that matters. I mean, it's all this bathroom things now. What is that I read today that the KKK is putting out? If you have a penis and you belong in the male bathroom, it's not as simple as that. They're so moronic.
Like, it's like, I want to say, like, hello, am I going to, like, go to the bathroom in the bushes now? Like, am I going to pee in the bushes?
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's ridiculous. And I can say, because I've been in both, because I'm trans, and I at one time I did live as male, the men's room and the ladies' room are very different.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. You can vouch for that, right? And really, like, in the ladies' room, everything is done in private. You go into your stall, you take care of your business, and you go. Whereas with the men's room, it's just a whole different vibe. You have the urinals. I know. So, and I actually got a reality check because early on in my transition, I didn't think I was far enough to start using the ladies' room, and I was still using the men's room. And I was at the sink washing my hands, and a guy walked in, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am." And he's backing out and looking at the side of the room. I'm like, "Oh, you're in the right room." And he's looking at me like I'm crazy. And I said, "You know what? I can't use the men's room anymore." So
that's kind of like what happened to me. I was in the gym's bathroom, and one of the person that goes to the gym went, opened the door, closed it, opened it back up again. Hey man, you're in the wrong bathroom. I'm like, okay, I think it's time I start using the man's bathroom now. It's like, yeah.
Exactly.
It's terrifying. Terrifying because you're like, okay, are they going to know that my feet are the wrong way? How am I supposed to do this?
I know,
So a special sound to this. You know?
I know. Yeah. Oh, believe me.
It's scarier for us.
It is scary for us because we're like, my thing in my mind is, I'm like, are they watching like my feet?
Yep.
And like the sounds, everything's pretty much.
I mean,
really, you question yourself, you know, and so you're right. And I think it's scarier for us.
Much more.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a while since the last interview.
Sorry, I had to spit in my mouth. Did you see it
okay.
on camera?
It's
So I was
okay.
trying to talk with
You can talk to them. It's all right.
Honey, you know you got to be fresh from head to toe. That includes the mouth.
That's right.
Yeah, I'll just set it there.
So
wait,
last time that we actually interviewed, I think it was almost 2 years ago or something near that nature. There's been a lot more.
Oh my gosh!
Since then,
big time.
Yeah, and
big time.
You've had some more surgeries, and you're looking way better.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, okay. So when we interviewed, I think at that point I hadn't even been on Botch season 3 with on the
you were
E
having
Network
some sort
yet.
of work done from another doctor,
Locally
some sort
here.
of ultrasound,
an injection. And I actually had 2 surgeries from Dr. Martin, who's here in South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe that he helped me to get to the level where I could then go and finally have the surgeries with the doctors out in California. So I think it's been definitely a process because they even said when they were operating on me that the consistency of the stuff was perfect. It was like tire, so it wasn't too soft that it was mixing in with the tissues, but it wasn't too hard that they couldn't get it out.
Okay.
And they said it was because of Dr. Martin's treatment. So it's been a journey.
Everything happened.
Mm-hmm. And I had the opportunity to be on season 2 of Botched on the E Network, and they just featured my story. They said they weren't going to operate, and my thing is if I someone's phone, and it's not mine, and usually my phone is a hotline, honey.
And it's like Morocco.
Oh, Morocco.
Oh my gosh, Morocco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not answering it.
Morocco. I like Moroccan men. Answer it.
That is really weird.
That's no, I'm being so stereotypical. Oh my god. But so any opportunity for me to share my story, I've been doing it because it's been empowering for me, and it really has been a blessing. I feel like me being able to use my story and my life to educate and advocate and basically touch so many people around the world, because I have heard from literally around the entire world. Africa, Australia.
Morocco.
Morocco. Yeah, literally, I have. I've had a couple Moroccans contact me. But yeah, so I did season 2 of Botch, and my story was featured, and then the network got such great feedback, and the doctors, they really, Dr. Dubrow and Dr. Nassif, wonderful, and Dr. Dubrow was like, I just was like, I can help her. I'm determined. And so they invited me back for season 3, and I had surgery. And I think it's been a blessing. I mean, it came out of left field kind of because I thought it was like no-go. And then being invited back. So my thing is, hey, if I could have a little corrective surgery, why not? I mean, because I look at pictures before and videos before, and it was pretty bad. Yeah. I guess because I was living it, and I was just dealing with it.
Your defense mechanism probably shut you down.
It shut me down. But now looking at pictures and stuff, I was like, wow, it was really bad. So I feel like it's a blessing, but I say this, and I said it on Botch, and I'll say it again, you know, and not to sound cliche, but a person's true beauty is really their spirit within. And, you know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but it's nice to have a little revamping of the cover.
You know, it feels good to look in the mirror and like what you see, but sometimes when we chase what we want to see, and that's what I think is most of our problem in the trans community.
It is.
You know, we're too bound to that mirror. And
We
by
are.
being bound to that mirror, being bound to expectations of others, ends up hurting ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's a story that
It's
you
true.
that you really
It's true.
have embodied.
And you know what? I'm taking responsibility for that. But also, I do believe that it's perpetuated a lot by society.
Exactly.
Because when I was living as androgynous,
Mhm.
like I was kind of like straddling the fence, like doing the androgyny thing. When I tell you, going out in public was really, really hard because people want to be able to label.
Yeah.
What, and you know, I
What?
hear, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You know, and not being able to label. So then you then feel like pressured to, I guess, fit quote unquote more the stereotype or
Because they want us in one box. Either
Yes.
you're male or you're female. Nothing in between.
Exactly.
And that's why the bathroom things. If you don't have this, you need it. You can't go into that bathroom. And they need to stop it. The religious extremists need to stop it. The conservative needs to stop it.
Oh,
Because they're the ones killing our children. They're the ones hurting people. And they're the ones responsible for blood on their hands, for people murdering people that people think are different.
are different.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, and hey, you know what it is? We're all transgender warriors.
Yeah.
I love that book, Transgender Warrior,
Yes.
and I do believe that all of us standing in our truth,
Yes.
and, you know, just that alone makes you a transgender warrior. But then on top of it, the things that you're doing, like you with your show,
Right.
me with my advocacy,
Yeah.
you know, just being out there and being visible,
Yes.
it's a testament. And
It is.
and so yeah, the movement has come very far. But
Yeah.
after this bathroom thing
Yeah.
and other things, I realized we have a lot further to go.
Besides that, I think sometimes we've pushed too hard. And I've been an old advocate. I've been doing this since 2003, 2004. And I think what's happened is we've pushed so hard that, you know, what happens to a pendulum? It goes one way and you push it so hard that it's going to come this other. So I think what we can learn as trans communities is to be a little more humble, a little more compassionate. We want people to have compassion with us, but we have to have compassion with them.
Exactly.
And
It's
can't
true.
push, because then people are going to go, oh no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
You know, now we're so much in their face that they're like,
Well, you know what I realized from the messages that I got from people all over, in all types, not just LGBT.
Mhm.
I'm talking about young, old, rich, poor, white, black, all types, men, women. Is that they're relating, when they relate to me,
Mhm.
they're relating to someone that had a struggle
Right.
and was able to like deal with it and work through it and live in it and then triumph.
Yeah.
Did have a triumphant
Yes.
moment.
And it wasn't
And
easy for you.
it
like
wasn't
it's
exactly.
been for a lot of
And-
the
And
New
no
York-
matter what, who you are in this world, if you're
Yeah.
living the human experience,
Yeah.
you're going to have a moment in your life like that. And I think that's what people are connecting with.
But when you get that attitude of what's the word I'm looking for, entitlement,
Mm-hmm.
then people are like, no, no, no.
Exactly.
So we've got it's one of those things
It's-
like walking a tight.
it's a balance.
It's a balance. We
It
have
really
to be careful.
is.
We can't be too much in your face. We have to be humble and meek.
Yeah.
And realize that not everyone's going to get it right away. We have to be patient.
I did an interview on Bosnia with the Bosnian media last week. Bosnia requested an interview with me. I'm like, oh my God, Bosnia! You know, like
Not Morocco?
I'm the not Morocco.
I'm so intrigued about that Morocco.
Me
Who's
too.
calling from Morocco?
Oh my
Me
God.
too.
Yeah. So I'm intrigued too.
Oh,
I want to
me
hear the
too.
message.
Yeah.
It better not be with my Moroccan guys that are on my Facebook. Now I'm playing. But no, so you know, I was talking about like the reporter asked me, well, how hard has it been for you living with your face like that? And I said, well, you know, first and foremost, it was hard before any of that because just being trans in the world, going out and dealing with all the stigma was hard. I said, and I described some of the issues that we had been dealing with and that we've come, you know, we've had some progress in our country. But she was saying, and then I said, and then it was compounded with my face and looking the way I did. But then she said, you know, she says, the trans in our country are really suffering too. And I thought to myself, you know, we trans people here in America, we have it hard, right?
That's
But
what it's on there.
but not as hard as others. And I think it's important for us to think of our sisters and brothers around the world
Yes.
that are standing in their truth, and it's really like literally life or death.
Yeah, and be humble and be grateful.
Grateful.
You know, not keep wanting more and more and more, and just realize that, okay, some people just may never understand.
Yeah, right.
And that's okay. We have to respect them for what
And you
they're
know
at.
that is so hard because I think as a kid when we grow up, we want that acceptance. We want it from our parents. It starts in the home where like you do something good and your mom or your dad says, "Hey, good," you know, and
we don't get it as trans. That's why I think.
Well, and then we thrive for it. We want it like really. And it was like almost desperate for it.
That's why we're such attention whores.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm an attention whore! I'm an attention whore!
You know, but we do. We want it because we didn't get it as a kid. We were like trying to do good, and then because we were different, we were almost like outcasted and like, you know.
Yeah,
like that.
it's true. And I mean, I remember being 4 years old
Mhm.
and them calling me faggot at 4. Sissy and faggot at 4, and I didn't even know what the word meant. And I'm like, what is this word? I know, but I didn't like the energy
Yeah, I
behind
was
the
like,
word.
this doesn't sound good.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
With me, it was like, that's how I said tortillera. That one's going to be a lesbian.
Oh
Because I
my
was like,
God.
at 4 years old, you know I'm going to be a lesbian? It's because I was very masculine.
It's
Right away they tag you,
they
yeah.
labeled
Yeah.
you. They labeled you. Wow.
Pretty sad stuff. But,
It is.
you know,
It
we need
is.
to heal. And
We
I
do.
think as we heal, we help others heal. Because there's those that are going to come behind us, and you know they really need words of wisdom. They need guidance. They need to realize that it's not all about the external. That it's about harvesting your spirit self. And we're spirits.
We are, and I think that's the
Having a
thing
human
that
experience.
everyone needs to stay connected to because, you know, I was just talking about someone that passed away, and really, we all are just passing through. And, you know, the only thing that's gonna be eternal, all of this is gonna rot eventually one day, is my spirit.
Exactly.
So I think that's so important to
Yes.
stay connected to that.
It is.
And because that's the eternal, and so, but it you know the thing is it's such a journey, and I think that I look at the trans community and I say, wow, we have to be some strong motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, excuse my language. That wasn't very
No,
ladylike.
it's okay. We have to be strong, but a lot of people don't realize their strength, and then they go into their weakness.
Yeah.
And they like drown in a glass of water. Instead of
Exactly.
realizing, hey, we are warriors and we do have the strength. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Exactly.
And don't let fear
Right.
bring you down, because that's what it is. Everybody's like so worried about what other people think, and what if I don't look the way that I want to look? What if surgeries don't turn out? What if this? What if that? And it's like, just live. You go through all this to then continue to have depression, to be unhappy. I say, just live.
Live. And you know, it's been a journey for me, and thank God, like I've been with this whole medical treatment for some years now, and I also went and I got help by going to a therapist because I had issues to deal with.
Yeah.
The shame, like
Yeah.
you mentioned,
Yeah.
I mean, we grow up in shame.
Mm-hmm.
And we have it, and it's so deep and internal
Yeah.
with us. And then, you know, the PTSD, and,
Oh, yeah.
you know, from being attacked because I was trans, and then you're scared to go in public because you're like, is it going to happen again?
And then you're never
And-
happy. No,
Right.
It's like you're not giving yourself permission to be happy, no matter how many surgeries you have, no matter what you've done. I mean, there are people who do everything and they're still depressed and they're still not happy. They're not giving themselves
Exactly.
permission to enjoy that
to
happiness.
enjoy, to be happy.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry.
There you go.
Hey, be happy. Let's do a remake of that song, the trans version. Hey, we'll do a video. I have a new face now. We can do a decent video.
You can tell you're happy, and it's like they really help your smile come back out.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow.
Okay.